All right, so we're coming into Jet Aviation today. It's Aircraft Conformity Day. So we're having the whole maintenance team here. We've got the FAA here, and I'm just here to observe and see how things are going, and should be a good day. It's hot, but should be a good day. Let's go. We're back in Van Nuys today, and it's Conformity Day. And what that is whenever we get an aircraft under management that's going to go on our charter certificate, we have to have the FAA show up and do an inspection on the aircraft, and that's called a conformity inspection. And before that, our team had to do a lot of work. We did a records review. We looked at the history of the aircraft from a maintenance side of things, regulatory compliance, the equipment that's installed on the aircraft has to comply with all of the regulatory requirements. And so when the FAA shows up to inspect the airplane, we've already inspected it. We know that it's in compliance, and it's just simply the FAA going through the airplane and looking at all the little things, verifying. It's more of a verification that it meets regulatory compliance. And today we're adding our new Challenger 605 aircraft, which is a large cabin, kind of mid-range aircraft. It's built by Bombardier, and Challenger 605, it's a 10-passenger aircraft, forward galley, really nice cabin, super comfortable airplane. It'll go Hawaii nonstop. It'll go Hawaii, it'll go to the East Coast. You take it to Europe, very comfortable aircraft. But today is all about regulatory compliance. Let's go on board and have a look, see how things are going. Conformity's going great. FAA's still in there. One of the last things we have to do after conformity is put this thing on, and this is a requirement by the FAA to show who is operating the airplane. So no matter what, if you get on an airline or a private jet that you're chartering, it has to say aircraft operated by on it, and then who operates. So this one is our operated by Silver Air Private Jets, which is actually a DBA of Jet Aviation, which is our charter company name. But yeah, operated by Silver Air Private Jets, and that's our certificate number. So this number right here is assigned to us by the FAA, and we've had that for 17 years. Kilo 95 Alpha 353 Lima is our operating certificate number. So if you ever want to look us up on the FAA's website, you use that number and you can look us up. So we're going to head into our compliance office now and look at some records. Okay, so we were just out at the airplane, and the FAA is out there doing physical inspection on the aircraft right now. They found a couple of things, some placards. I think there's on the passenger briefing card, we found a discrepancy. So we're gonna have to, before the airplane will go into service, we're gonna have to correct these issues that the FAA finds during this inspection, which is very common. So we're going to go back, fix those things, and then we will send that over, the resolution over to the FAA. They'll verify it and then give us a thumbs up, and then they will sign off on specs, which then will allow us to charter the aircraft. So it's going well. So I was just out there now, and here, these are all of the checklists that we use to make sure, trying to stay super organized. We have our own company checklist that it's called Form M108, if you're curious, but it's basically what we do internally to check that everything's here. And our team over here, Ava's right there, she's kind of the main person that makes sure all this is done right. She's the best. So that's going well, I think. And then the FAA will take this, and then they'll go through and check off. And then, of course, they have their own checklist that they use. And then once that's all done, then we'll get the cabin all stocked and get it all the kind of amenities and make it look really pretty inside, and all the snacks and drinks, we'll put all that on board. And then we have a really good marketing guy that comes in and photographs the airplane and does video and like a 3D thing, and then we'll build all the marketing material for the aircraft, and ultimately end up in our marketing materials. We'll probably shoot some more videos on the aircraft to showcase it, and then it's in business. So that's kind of behind the scenes on the regulatory side, aircraft compliance and conformity. There's a lot that go into it, and I think that the kind of flying public doesn't realize is how much goes into making these flights happen, right? It starts here at the compliance level, and it's not the fun, beautiful luxury side of it, but it's required. This is a safety thing, and we spend a lot of time on the back end before a passenger ever steps onto one of our aircraft doing all of this stuff. The conformity of an aircraft is a one-time thing. And what'll happen is when we put an aircraft into service, we have to go through this big process to put it into service. Once it's in service, then unless something significantly changes with the aircraft, some big configuration change or a new interior or something big, the FAA pretty much, trust that nothing really changes. Now, however, I will say that the FAA will from time to time show up and do what's called a ramp check. And it's maybe not as in-depth as a conformity, but they will come in and inspect the aircraft, make sure life jackets are on board, the placards are there, the passenger briefing cards are there. They'll look at some paperwork that's required to be on the aircraft, the airworthiness certificate, the aircraft registration. They might look at the pilots. They might look at the pilot certificates, the aeromedical certificates with the pilots, make sure that they have, if a pilot has they must wear corrective lenses on their medical certificate. The FAA might want to see, let me see your glasses, or are you wearing contact lenses? So there is an ongoing process for inspection. Doesn't happen very often. The FAA is a very busy organization, so they don't have a ton of time for that kind of stuff. But we have a really good working relationship with them. Our certificate management team, I feel like they have a high level of trust that we do the right thing. And they're in our office all the time working with our team. So yeah. Conformity process is strictly for Part 135 compliance, meaning if an aircraft is going to be put out to the public for hire, meaning it's a commercial operation. So the flying public can pay us money to fly on our aircraft. That is Part 135 of the Federal Aviation Regulations. And we operate under that set of regs. In addition to Part 91, and then there's a bunch of other regulatory compliance that we have to comply with. But if you're a Part 91, meaning you own an aircraft and you fly it yourself, or you have crews that fly it yourself, and it's not for commercial hire, you don't have to go through this process. However, you do need a letter of authorization, which is similar. It's more paperwork. It's more of a paperwork thing than an actual aircraft inspection like we're going through today.
And what does it take to be actually a Part 135 operator?
That's a good question.
You must, to be a Part 135 operator, you must love to suffer. I mean, this is let's be honest. Aviation is the highest regulated industry in the world, and it should be. Because we're flying pieces of aluminum at 45,000 feet across oceans. And when you get in an airplane, you trust that it's safe, but it's only safe because it's so highly regulated. And I think, the FAA has done one of the government agencies that I'm, a big fan of is the FAA. They've done an amazing job. If you look at aviation safety today, even 30 years ago, it's literally the safest thing you can do. And it's because of the amount of regulation that has been put in place and continues to improve over time. And one of the big things, the big talk on the town and the aviation circles is safety management systems, or SMS. And when you talk about safety as it relates to operations like this, the new initiative for the safety management systems that's coming, it's going to be a requirement. Right now, the airlines, the Part 121 airlines, it's been a requirement for a long time. But for Part 135, which we do, it's not required today, but it is going to be required next year. And so the companies that are getting ahead of this, like us, we've been operating on an SMS now for, 5-6 years. A fully developed SMS, and we're completely ready for when it is a requirement from the FAA we're ready to go. And what an SMS is, it starts really with a culture, but it really is a system of measuring our safety. And if a safety issue comes up, it is thoroughly investigated down to the root cause of that safety. Any safety issue that comes up, it could be water in a hangar, or it could be an airplane landing at the wrong airport, just anything that goes along that compromises safety in any way. We investigate it all the way down to the root cause and look at changes that we need to make, and then we measure those changes. So that's part of the work that the FAA is doing, with us now and in the near future.